Thank you. Wow, you guys did a good job. Thank you. And now I would like to introduce our Honorable Mayor Craig Green, presenting "We Are Getting Better and We Are Moving Forward." Mayor Green has been a resident of Placentia for 25 years. He's been on the Placentia City Councils since 2014. He was the mayor pro tem in 2015 and 16. He's always available to meet with you and answer any questions. Anytime. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you, Zena, for that nice introduction. First of all, I want to start by talking about the staff that it took to put this whole thing together. I mean, I was just blown away over the last 3 weeks or so between Dylan Ortega, Eric Lowy, and of course the infamous Lee Kastner. It's like, oh my gosh, there's so much. So thank everybody that was involved with setting this up. So I'll start by saying good morning, everyone, and thank you to Zena for that kind introduction, and to my own pastor, Pastor Karen Tannheimer, for our invocation this morning. Thank you, Pastor Karen. It is an honor and a privilege for me to be here in front of you this morning. As I have time to share with you, I would like to express my appreciation of the Placentia Chamber of Commerce for hosting this event, and to the Placentia Linda Hospital for being the title sponsor. You know, moving the city forward takes an incredible team. That team begins with our own wonderful residents, and then to our city commissioners and committee members that volunteer their time and talents to the betterment of our city, and they work hard. From there we get to the foundation of it all, and that's to the major league staff we have in City Hall that bring it all together for City Council. Of course, I would be remiss if I did not take this time to recognize that none of us would be able to do what we are doing here or anywhere else without the continued sacrifices of the men and women serving around the globe in the uniforms of America's armed services, or those same continued sacrifices of the men and women of our own Placentia Police Department and the Orange County Fire Authority personnel that protect us right here in our own backyard. So a huge thank you to the entire Placentia staff. Of course, none of us could do what we do, and this is a biggie, without the support of our own families and friends. I know that is especially true for me because I am truly blessed to have that support. I'd like to recognize that today with me is, of course, my lovely wife, Beverly, son William, down in Seattle, Matthew, my daughter Ann, and son Matthew. It's just incredible that the family I've gotten to support. My wife swears my cell phone was surgically implanted years ago, so we're good. Talk about being blessed. I am truly humbled. Over the last year or so, our city has been through a whirlwind of issues, projects, negativity, and the most costly betrayal of the public trust in our city's history. I would never have guessed that I would be standing here talking about how one of our own city employees embezzled $5.16 million from our city coffers. And he was an individual who knew how bad we were hurting financially. However, earlier this month, I sat in the Santa Ana courtroom and witnessed our now former city employee plead guilty to 106 felony counts, including theft of public funds, money laundering, fraud, and a host of others, for which he accepted a 25-year sentence to state prison. He got a $2.6 million restitution order and a fine of over $10 million just for being a jerk. That's my own little. While there will most likely never be paid in full, at least our city is in a position to recoup something from any future endeavors of Mr. Nguyen when he is released from prison. I must at this point say a huge thank you to our city administrator, Damian Arula, his key staff members, and our own Placentia Police Department for working so diligently with the Orange County District Attorney's Office in seeking justice for our city. Also, a big thank you to the Orange County District Attorney's Office for their instant response and our request to help in this matter by showing up within hours to begin their work. Assistant District Attorney Mark LaBrush and his team, along with Attorney David Demergent, who's sitting back at that table with the rest of the lawyers. We didn't segregate you guys on purpose. Almost immediately found and froze assets that provided us with the recovery of $3.2 million, which is already back in City Hall. The city of Pasadena did this several years ago with a $6-point-something million loss. The guy that did it's on the streets, and they recovered not one dime. so we're truly blessed in that. These guys work hard. Okay, so unlike a few individuals that seem to prefer getting into finger pointing, fingers of blame, without the benefit of truth or facts, we continue to support the ongoing efforts, and they are ongoing big time, of the District Attorney's Office in their continuing investigation, and our goal is to make the city whole by the end of this year as we continue to move our city forward. I must also point out that this issue clearly demonstrated our security protocols within the Finance Department. Although considered adequate by financial entities and our own previous auditors, they needed to be enhanced to thwart the types of actions that resulted in the embezzlement. Placentia has now become, literally, the model in security protocols for municipal finance departments, and we have received numerous calls for guidance in that area. One of the many enhanced protocols was the addition of our elected city treasurer as a signer and reviewer on the city's bank accounts, an action that had continuously been thwarted. This action now provides the city treasurer with independent access to bank statements and banking information that previously had not been available. Another example is the implementation of a state-of-the-art fraud hotline that is available to residents and employees alike. In using some of the terms of a former Vice President Spiro Agnew, despite the comments of a few nattering nabobs of negativism that seem bent on creating negativity without the benefits of facts, truth, or reality, we have had some amazing accomplishments over the past year or so. For instance, continued research, and at the prodding of myself and a few others, by staff has recently uncovered an IOU from the former redevelopment agency to the city for $2.8 million. Yes, that IOU has been processed. It took us a little while to do that. It was just recently acknowledged and approved by to the city by the California Department of Finance. This is a big thing. So we will be receiving payments for what will be general fund money over the next 5 to 6 years of approximately $700,000 a year, and I'm betting that we're going to find more buried funds. That's a big thing. Back to some accomplishments. Most notably, of course, is the approval of the Metrolink station and the Old Town parking structure. For nearly 10 years, the city has been working with the Orange County Transportation Authority to secure funding, and I'm thrilled to announce that we have secured several million in additional funds and reached an agreement with OCTA, and that was through the hard work and dedication of the city staff and former Councilman Scott Nelson, wherever he's at, and Chad Baca. They worked hard, continuous meetings with them, and they did a good job. This represents another $34 million investment in our community infrastructure, and we expect to break ground in April or so of 2018. We must, of course, send a huge thank you to the Orange County Transportation Authority Chief Executive Officer Darrell Johnson and his team for their partnership and support in developing a plan to make this development a reality. This will certainly be a positive game changer for our city going forward. We are also working on 2 very comprehensive plans that center around the coming Metrolink station and parking structure and the development of the surrounding areas. As everyone knows, our current efforts are not the first in this area or on this subject. We have been through the on-track debacle that included the SHREP processes. We all sat through that in the Witness Center for days on end. Town hall meetings and developer shenanigans in working towards development in that area. Those past poorly directed efforts and misdeeds, which we are still suffering from, fiscally especially, were exposed by a small effective group called Citizens for a Better Placentia, whose members did an awful lot of research and document collection to expose that boondoggle. Further, that over 14 years of involvement in our city by myself, on my behalf anyway, and taking into account all that has transpired, me personally, I have never felt more positive about where we are as a city, or especially in the direction we are heading. As the theme for this luncheon says, the state of the city is this: we're getting better and we're moving forward. The establishment of a transit-oriented development, what they call a TOD or TOD, what we are calling the Packing House District over on Crowther Avenue. Here's what the area looks like today, and then, there you go, take a look at that. And then here's what the area looks like today, and then what it can look like with some development. This plan envisions a mix of residential and retail uses, including shops and entertainment, as well as other uses that would support an active community. No, it is not the unrealistic George Jetson Plaza that was being sold as part of the on-track Westgate snake oil project of so many years ago. This is a market-driven plan that respects private property rights and provides an avenue for some real, long overdue development in that area. And we're already receiving some inquiries from folks knowing that this is coming up for approval. The second is the Old Town Placentia Revitalization Plan, and that includes some zoning changes around the core of downtown in the areas of Bradford and Chapman, Santa Fe and Main Street down in that area, and Melrose, etc. Check out the slides that show what the boundaries are. You can see in the yellow, where it's outlined in yellow, the little hook at the top, that's where the church is at the corner of Chapman and Bradford. That entire area, by changing the zonings, developers are already coming and looking, businesses who want to move into that area, because there's going to be some significant changes down there that will help the economy of the city, but also help the city itself, which is always a good thing. And again, this is all being pursued while respecting private property rights. This should bring some new investment in needed businesses. Speaking of more businesses in the city, we are pleased to welcome several new businesses who have opened their doors here over the past year or so. We have Coastal Hot Spring Spas, Ceci Nails, I know it's good, Rich Farm Ice Cream, and that is good stuff. Gentle Dental, Laser Island, Stereo Brewery, that's good too. And the reopening of Mi Casita Restaurant on Santa Fe Avenue. We are also happy to announce some new businesses that will be coming to Placentia in the next few months, and I think this is just so super. Our most anticipated, of course, is the original Pancake House that will be opening in the Village Plaza Shopping Center where the El Torito is. That'll be in the building where the credit union used to be. We also have a Jersey Mike's going in over at Alta Vista and Rose, a Bodie Leaf Coffee Trader over by the Wells Fargo on Bradford in Yorba Linda. And get this, in one shopping center, we're going to be getting an Omi Bistro, Wasabi Fusion and Grill, an O'Reilly's Auto Parts store, and Campitelli's Cookies. Those are great cookies. All at the Imperial Rose Plaza. So talk about some positive things and moving the city forward. That is great. Thanks to staff for pursuing these people and the businesses for coming. Also, a few of our existing fast food restaurants are undergoing some major interior renovations. The McDonald's on Chapman is doing flooring, restrooms, and a new play area along with new signage. The KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, for those who don't remember what it stands for, behind the El Torito is going to be renovating their entire interior with new flooring, seating areas, and counters. We are very excited for all of our new businesses and those investing in the renovations and wish them all great successes. Remember, shop Placentia as much as you can to help our businesses succeed and help the city's economy well. We want to thank our Chamber of Commerce for all they do for our businesses. Our city has another opportunity to strengthen its economic diversification. The area where the old Has Rents was on the corner of Crowther and Placentia Avenue, which is in the yellow down there, that's where Has Rents used to be. And then if you look north of that, you'll see that little, looks like an asphalt triangle thing. That's where the Office Depot used to be. That's where I think they're parking cars and stuff these days. Let's see, avenues. Okay. We have an agreement that will be putting a self-service 76 gas station on the old Has Rents parcel, and that project is projected, I should say, to generate an estimated $25,000 a year in just base rent, and an additional between $200,000 and $350,000 annually to our general fund through their sales tax. So you can see, and rezoning that area up north of that to commercial / mixed use could also have the effect of bringing a high-end hotel to that area, because we've already had inquiries for that, which would be great. We also can't forget our 2 existing brand new digital billboards we have put up on city-owned property in partnership with Lamar Outdoor Advertising. In fact, we already received the first year's base revenue. Those signs are great. So $500,000 for those 2 signs, and it could be more depending on how much advertising is sold on each one of those panels. We even get some of the city stuff. Check out the picture there. We're holding up a $500,000 check. That thing's already in the bank. The individual on the left was Richard Montgomery, sitting right there, currently Manhattan City Council, who was, I'll tell you what, he was unbelievable. He just, he rode through that project the whole time we were doing it, so I just want to say thanks, Richard, for all of that. These days, of course, as everybody knows, revenue sources are limited, and these boards have turned out to be an excellent source for our general fund. The next thing was really large is the Orange County Bridge, or what they call it, OC Bridges Project by OCTA. That's another $450 million investment into our little community. That, once completed this June, will have provided us with 5 grade separations within our city, thereby enhancing traffic flow, which is a biggie, public safety, which means fire and police can get back and forth without fear of getting stuck behind a train, and of course, fewer train muscles. Kramer Avenue is first, Placentia second, Tustin Rose third, Ordsthorpe fourth, and the 5th and final crossing in our city within our boundaries is Lakeview Avenue over at Ordsthorpe. And that is scheduled for completion in June, or just 90 days from now. So we'll be done with the traffic jams and all the construction. So that's a big deal. If you look at these projects, the architectural and engineering work has been incredible. And you can see that as you traverse those intersections. OCTA has a top-notch team that took on the project and has proven to be an excellent partner in all respects. So thank you again to the OCTA and their project team. Our city has also taken the lead, this is one of my favorites, on a state-of-the-art development that will bring permanent supportive housing to military veterans who are homeless or disabled. Yeah. We are partnering with the County of Orange, Mercy Housing California, and New Directions to construct the Placentia Veterans Village. The proposed site is a 2.4 or so acre parcel over near the Lakeview and Ordsthorpe Avenues intersection. The development will include 50 furnished apartments, 49 for veterans, and 1 for on-site management, a courtyard, community garden, recreation room, and resident services offices for those looking for employment and just rehab in different areas. It's going to be incredible. This will set the example for taking care of veterans in need. In fact, another one of my favorite parts, the address for this project is going to be 1945 Veterans Way. And to me, that couldn't be a more fitting address for this project. You know, these many partnerships and accomplishments have been made possible through a unique brand of collaboration and determination. I say determination, I'm talking about the city council as a whole, staff, and everybody working just unbelievably. Despite these many achievements, it is important to remember that many challenges remain, and also that Placentia is not alone in the areas of ever-increasing operational costs and declining revenues. Cities throughout California are experiencing similar challenges. One specific challenge in particular in our city, of course, is the budget. We have been able to be very creative over the past few years to achieve cost savings, and an excellent example of that is when we worked with the Orange County Fire Authority to accomplish 2 things. One, by moving one of the fire trucks from our Station 35 on Bradford to Station 10 in Yorba Linda because it was a 4-person medic truck, we were able to increase the efficiency at an incredible amount for emergency services and also in a more timely fashion. And 2, that move reduced our city's costs by $232,000 per fiscal year by shifting the cost of that engine that was moved to the Orange County Fire Authority Structural Fire Fund and away from our own general fund. So not only did service get better, for us as a city, it costs less because of the ability for those trucks to get to where they need to go. Just think about the ever-increasing costs of labor, materials, etc. You can see the difficulties in budget management. We have managed to balance our budget in part by foregoing some badly needed infrastructure maintenance. Check out Mathewson Avenue here in Placentia is just one example. The street's drivable, it works, but it's in sorely need of repair. But we haven't had the funds with which to accomplish that. So that's how we've been able to balance our budget. We're hoping that in the future we'll be able to get some grants and stuff to help take care of it. I think they call that crocodile or alligator. I mean, it's just pretty nasty stuff, almost like dark stone. So the data shows that we really need about $3 to $4 million a year or more to maintain current street quality levels. Or, I would prefer, we need $4 to $5 million a year to begin getting our streets into better shape. In a unique effort to get some enhancements accomplished at our Civic Center, we have been working closely with local Boy Scout troops in the development of a number of projects that would qualify as an Eagle Scout project. And the Scout's final run before achieving the rank of Eagle Scout, they have to do a project that has community involvement, sustainability, and it'll be around for a while, not just something maintenance-wise. So you can see Eagle Scout Jay Jones designed and constructed a K-9 memorial wall at the Civic Center. Eagle Scout candidate Dylan Garner completed the Civic Center patio renovation project, and most recently, Eagle Scout candidate John Thomas totally rehabbed the police department motor barn. That's where they park the motorcycles. We thank them for their hard work in planning, coordinating, and raising the necessary funds to complete these projects, and each one has proved very positive to our Civic Center. The important part about Eagle Scout, they come up with the idea, or they can take it off of a list like I have, and they have to develop a plan for it, come up with a cost estimate, raise the funds for it, do the project themselves. Once it's acceptable, it's signed off, and then they can go on to Eagle Scout and go through their board and all that kind of stuff. So there was no hits on the general fund for these projects, and the positive impact throughout City Hall has just been great. Our city has also been aggressively seeking and obtaining grants to offset costs of projects throughout the city. For instance, St. Jude's Hospital has been a super partner, and they have donated substantial funds to cover the cost of renovating 2 pools in our parks and the installation of some incredible exercise equipment in soon-to-be 4 of our parks. So we want to thank St. Jude Hospital and their Board of Trustees for their generosity. We also received grant funds that, in concert with some park funds, allowed us to rehab the lobby and bathrooms in the Bax building, which made the areas not only more appealing, but even more importantly, also made them ADA compliant. We are continuing to search for additional fund sources to complete improving the rest of the Bax building, which in fact, if you don't already know it, is our most utilized public building. It's nice. I remember doing Pine Book Derby with the kids years ago. We have also received a $2.7 million grant with which to replace the Golden Avenue Bridge, a bridge that was originally constructed in 1934 as part of a Works Progress Administration project. That was back during the Depression. We are also working closely with OC Parks Department to coordinate that bridge replacement with their OC Parks 66-mile county-wide recreational trail loop that travels underneath the Golden Avenue Bridge. We hope to link the city's bicycle trail on Golden Avenue to much larger regional bicycle and recreational amenities. With so much opportunity and development happening in our city, I want to encourage you to become involved in our community. We have many opportunities to serve as RACES, those are the guys who do the ham radio stuff. CERT, Community Emergency Response Team. We have a new Emergency Operations Center at City Hall. You should come by and see it sometime. I'll be happy to give you a tour. Public safety, tutoring the youth, distributing bulk food items. Don't forget our commissions and committees, where lots of processes take place that help keep Placentia a pleasant place. Our Veterans Memorial is in need of expansion, and that will be costly. So please see individual donation forms in your seating places. There should be an envelope on there from the city seal in the upper left-hand corner. Pull that up, Madam. Thank you. Please feel free, if you're so inclined and you can have the wherewithal to do that, to help us out with the cost of that. And of course, being a veteran myself, that's near and dear to my heart. We also have coming up the Love Placentia Service Day on Saturday, April 29th. A great opportunity to give back to your city with a ton of work projects to accomplish throughout our city, and this is a project close to Councilmember Smith. I think last year we had 1,200 people show up for that. It was incredible. So many projects got done at schools and buildings all over the place. It was great. So please contact City Hall if you have any questions or you want to apply. The Placentia Community Foundation is a nonprofit entity that is supportive of several programs throughout the city and even some within City Hall in the areas of community service. They have provided grants for backpacks, after-school youth programs, and many, many more, including the Placentia Police Department Explorers Program that, by the way, just celebrated their 35th anniversary. We passed out certificates at the other night at City Council. That celebration included, this was so cool, a visit from one of the original members of that first Placentia Explorer class 35 years ago. For all that, we say thank you as well. As you can see, Placentia is truly blessed with a cadre of volunteers and organizations that give immeasurably of their time, talents, and treasure to help keep Placentia a pleasant place that it truly is. I want to say a huge thank you to our city staff that gives their all in support of our city, to the members of our committees and commissions that provide unrelenting support, and I mean unrelenting support, for the many programs conducted by our city and issues brought before them, to our business community as well, as civic and faith-based organizations that are always there to help in many areas. In closing, and specifically for me, I want to say a thank you to my family and friends for always being there for me and for tolerating my attending many meetings, conferences, and get-togethers, and especially for being here today. I should probably not say this, but I'm going to. My wife said on my tombstone she's going to put, "He's gone to his last meeting." Thank you, dear. So thanks again to our Chamber of Commerce for this morning's event and to the Placentia Linda Hospital for their unwavering support. As you can see from the information presented here today, Placentia is truly, we're getting better and we're moving forward. So have a great rest of your day. Thanks for all attending, and may God bless the city of Placentia, and may God bless America.